My lead source tonight sits on the House Oversight Committee, which is now at the center of this story. Democratic Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett of Texas joins me now. And thank you, Congresswoman, for being here because Chairman Comer says that Democrats are cherry picking the information that they're releasing. They're politicizing what's being released tonight. As a Democrat on the House Oversight Committee, what is your response to the chairman?
No, listen, here's the deal. We have a president that is sitting in office that obviously had a very close relationship with arguably one of the worst pedophiles that we've ever seen in this country. And he's gone from, I don't really know him like that. No, we're not really that close. Yes, he was an FBI informant. To now, he said there never was this birthday book. There never was this letter. And I think it goes to his credibility or lack thereof when it comes down to this particular investigation. It also goes to when we hear the White House say things like, hey, this will be seen as a hostile act if you sign off on this. Listen, as American people, we should all be in unison, no matter if you're a Democrat, Republican, or independent, when it comes down to cracking down on something like this. And this literally is so big. I, as someone who practiced criminal law in Texas, in Arkansas, and in federal courts, I have never seen a case this big. And I did it for literally over 15 years.
In terms of what Democrats on your committee are putting out, the address book that came out tonight, it's got, I mean, I looked at it. It's names and phone numbers of people we know, their addresses. Was there a consideration about redacting that information, or was it intentional to just release it with everything?
So as it relates to the committee and what the committee itself has put out, we as committee members haven't sat down in a room and said, this is exactly what's going to happen when. So
who made this decision?
Those decisions are made by our ranking member, along with the lawyers that are serving on our committee, because honestly, we don't sit and do that kind of stuff. The things that we're doing is we're trying to make sure that we are going after and we're subpoenaing the information that is going to lead to real answers, whether it's people or whether it's documents. So we are coming up with a plan around that. In addition to that, obviously, we are going to have staff that is going to go up and speak with those attorneys that released this most recent information to us, because there have been redactions. And so they're going to see everything unredacted to make sure that they're just not cherry picking how much information they're giving to us as well.
So do you have any issues with all the numbers and names and addresses being published?
I mean, I think that I personally probably would, simply because of the environment that we're in right now. And as someone who is consistently receiving death threats because of kind of political sycophants, I would.
You have no problem with it. On this drawing.
No. I'm saying I would have an issue.
You would have redacted it.
Yeah, I probably would have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I probably would have.
Yeah, just, I mean, it's like their addresses in New York, phone numbers.
But then again, it may be that none of this is actually relevant now. Like, as far as I'm concerned, these people could have moved. These telephone numbers may not work anymore, that kind of stuff. So I don't know if the team dug into that type of information just so that it could say, at this moment, this person lived here or there, but they may not even live there anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's hundreds of names, as you know. On the drawing itself, the White House has denied that the drawing existed. They denied that it was Trump's signature. Tonight, they are denying it, saying that releasing it is proof that it's not his signature. I mean, we showed, obviously, examples that mirror it. What do you make of the White House's defense here?
The fact that the president is a liar. I mean, he's consistent. I mean, that's all I really got for you. I mean, you know, here's the thing. We got this from the Epstein estate. This isn't something that came from a random Democratic something. This came from the estate. And so,
because basically that would have mean that someone had to forge this.
Correct.
Years ago. It didn't come from Democrats.
Exactly. That's the whole thing. Like, before he even got elected, remember when Epstein died, right? That was before Donald Trump got elected this time. And they would have had to have some kind of foresight that he was going to run for office again, somehow win again. And we've got to make sure that this is sitting here so that when a committee comes through to get this, then it's crazy.
Do you agree that even if that is his signature, having his signature on the letter doesn't constitute any wrongdoing or illegal action?
No, I think the biggest issue is the fact that he cannot be honest about it. Right? Like, why lie? Because it doesn't implicate, right? But the fact that you're lying makes it look like, what else are you lying about? Those are the questions that we have. If you'll lie about something this simple, then when you're trying to tell us that you had nothing to do with these women or these girls, why should we believe you?
Can we just show the signature on the page that was released today one more time? The White House is denying it is actually his. And when you look at this on this drawing from the White House, or from what was released today by your committee, if we have that picture of Trump's signature here, or what is allegedly his signature that they're denying, you see that and you believe that's his signature.
Yeah, who else sounds like that? I mean, it is a signature of signatures. I mean, that is his signature. End of story. Now, I don't think that it's worth time trying to get somebody to come in and, who's an expert and goes through the curves and that kind of stuff. We have experts that can do that if he really wants to. But I don't think that it takes an expert to know that that is his signature. Can
I ask about something else that the Democrats on the House Oversight Committee published tonight? It's a tweet tonight, and it says, it has a picture, and it says, this picture, it alleges, it says, shows Epstein and a longtime Mar-a-Lago member joking about selling a fully depreciated woman to Donald Trump for $22,000 and $22,500. Can you explain what is being alleged here in this picture?
I mean, obviously, I didn't write it, but from the looks of it, it does look like he engaged potentially. Now, I think that is more incriminating than the birthday. The birthday just makes him look like a creep. But it's joking about selling a woman. When and why is that ever funny? And why is it that they would say that he would be one that would be buying a woman? And to say fully depreciated, and it had some things that really made you feel like it was somebody that was young, because it was talking about the ability to learn, like a quick learner or something like that. I don't remember the exact language. But it's really disturbing. And honestly, it's really a sad day in this country that this is the guy that is leading our nation. I mean, we used to care about the morality of a leader, but when you're looking at this and you're looking at his actions overall, it doesn't seem like he has a moral compass or that he has an honest bone in his body.
And we don't know that Trump wrote that. Do you know if that information has been vetted, or is it in the process of being vetted, whatever's been alleged?
The most that I can tell you is that came from the estate. That is something that we got from the estate. So usually when we're looking at documents, we're looking at the trail and like who had what. All I can tell you is that it came out of the estate. So this is something that is older. I'm sure that as our attorneys go up to see the unredacted versions of all the documents, there will be questions about who the people are that are in the photos and things like that. And ultimately, I think that they may be people that we ultimately end up questioning as a part of this larger probe.
So you may question people who are in these documents that are mentioned. That you got from the Epstein estate.
That's the whole point of getting them. Absolutely.
Do you have any ideas of who may be called, or is that something that the committee is still sorting through tonight?
We're still sorting through because we legitimately are still trying to sift through documentation.
You mentioned the FBI informant thing a moment ago. For people who aren't familiar, that's a comment that was made by the House Speaker, Mike Johnson, a couple days ago. He now was trying to clear that up today. I just want everyone to listen to what he had to say.
I mentioned that what the attorneys for the victims have been very clear about. I'm just repeating what is common knowledge and has been out in the public for a long time. President Trump was never a hindrance to the Epstein investigation. He was trying to assist in that. I don't know if I used the right word. I said FBI informant. I'm not sure. I wasn't there.
Is that common knowledge about President Trump trying to assist in the Epstein investigation? Have you seen any evidence of that?
That's the first time I heard of it. So I'm going to say no. I don't have any documentation to that effect. And I was able to sit down during the Bill Barr deposition. I don't recall the former Attorney General stating anything to that effect. I can't say what all he said, but I don't remember anything that would lead me to believe that he was informed of anything like that. So no, I would not say that. And we know that Bill Barr was the Attorney General, at least at the time that Epstein ended up dying. And so I would imagine that he would have the information as it relates to who the informants were and that kind of stuff. And I can just tell you point blank that it never came up that the president somehow was an informant for the FBI.
Democratic Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett of Texas has been vocal in defending the push for transparency regarding the ongoing investigation into the Epstein files. Responding to Chairman Comer's claims that Democrats are selectively releasing information and politicizing the investigation, Crockett pointed out the seriousness of the case. She highlighted the fact that the president had maintained a close relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, widely regarded as one of the most notorious pedophiles in U.S. history. Crockett noted that the president's statements have continuously shifted, from initially denying a close connection to Epstein to now denying the existence of key documents, such as a birthday book and a letter, which could be pivotal in investigation. Crockett also raised concerns about the committee's recent release of documents containing personal contact details, such as phone numbers and addresses. Given the sensitive nature of the investigation, she argued that these details should have been redacted to protect individuals' privacy, noting that as someone who has received death threats herself, she understands the risks involved. However, she also acknowledged that such information may not be entirely relevant anymore, as the individuals listed may have moved or changed their contact details. One of the key documents released by the committee included a signature, which the White House has disputed, claiming it wasn't the president's. Crockett, however, firmly believed that the signature in question belonged to the president, dismissing the White House's claim as nothing more than an attempt to cover up. She stated that no expert analysis was needed to confirm the authenticity of the signature, asserting that it was unmistakably Trump's signature. The investigation has also raised questions about a picture released by the committee, allegedly showing Epstein and a longtime Mar-a-Lago member joking about selling a woman to Donald Trump. Crockett found this picture deeply disturbing, describing it as morally repugnant. The language used in the image, referring to a fully depreciated woman, was particularly alarming. She questioned why such a thing would ever be considered a joke and why the president, in particular, would be implicated in such a conversation. While Crockett could not confirm the full extent of the investigation into these documents, she emphasized that they came from Epstein's estate, not from any partisan source. As the committee continues to review the materials, she expressed confidence that further scrutiny of the unredacted documents would lead to more answers. She also hinted at the possibility of questioning people connected to the documents, which could provide more clarity on the situation. When asked about a recent statement from Speaker Mike Johnson, who claimed that President Trump was assisting the FBI in the Epstein investigation, Crockett firmly rejected the notion. She stated that there was no evidence to support this claim and that it had never come up during previous investigations. Crockett also pointed out that Bill Barr, the former Attorney General during Epstein's death, would have had knowledge of any FBI informants, and he had never mentioned Trump being involved in that capacity. In closing, Crockett reiterated her belief that the investigation was of critical importance, not just for uncovering the truth about Epstein's network, but also for restoring accountability to the highest levels of government. She emphasized that the American people, regardless of political affiliation, should unite in the quest for transparency and justice in this case, and that the investigation must continue until all the facts come to light.